on the Pivot podcast that there's a 1 in 3 chance that Trump dies in office just based on his age and BMI.
If I was an insurance agent and he wanted $300,000 in insurance, life insurance, and I didn't need profits or anything, I would charge him $100,000 because just based on his body mass index and his age, there's a 1 in 3 chance he leaves feet first from the White House.
2 last things. Trump and Elon Musk, what do you make of that partnership? Do you think that's been a net positive for the Republicans?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you see that rocket, booster rocket, barreling towards gravity like sucking it back down, and then it ignites, and somehow this shit straightens out, and it veers and navigates into these giant metal chopsticks, you're just like, fucking A, man. I want a Tesla. I want to go on Twitter. I want to, whoever that guy's voting for, I'm voting for. I mean, that stuff is impressive. He's also got a very big platform to weaponize. He's basically said, I don't care if it's illegal. I'm going to run these contests, $1 million a day to registrants. I think he's probably the most aspirational figure among young men globally. I mean, he's building cars, rockets, and has
brain chips.
It's like he's robots. Every 8-year-old boy's dream.
Tunnels.
I mean, he's impossible not to admire on a lot of levels. It's very good for Trump. It feeds into this manosphere, politically incorrect, economic growth. The guy is, there's no doubt about it, a genius and a risk taker and has balls the size of Saturn to do the shit he's done. So huge, huge advantage. Biden, one of Biden's biggest mistakes politically was he had an EV summit and he didn't invite Musk. So let's have the woman who invented the Pontiac Leaf there, but we're not going to have Tesla there? That was so stupid. And I hold grudges for much less than that. And Elon used to be kind of he voted for Obama. I wouldn't describe him as a hardcore conservative, but
he said he queued for hours and hours to shake Obama's hand.
Yeah. So we/Biden blew it. And also the really dangerous thing about an autocracy is that it's really effective. And that is the following. If you do the algebra, if I'm a VC that's bet big on crypto, and I say, and Trump says to me, raise me $1 billion and I'll have the Fed announce that they're putting $10 billion into crypto, into Bitcoin. I wouldn't be surprised if this conversation has happened. Hey, Mark Andreessen, I know you have huge investments in Bitcoin and crypto on the blockchain. I'm going to take Bitcoin to $1 million a coin, and this is how I'm going to do it. And I need you to raise me $1 billion. I bet that something along that conversation has happened. A former attorney general and someone who's raised, went to law school, I don't think she's had that conversation with anyone, or at least it's a lot more opaque. In addition, the algebra is the following. If I support Trump and he loses, there's really almost zero chance. I might not get an ambassadorship to France, but there's zero chance Vice President Harris is going to weaponize the DOJ and come after me. He has threatened people and companies with the full power and heft of government agencies if they're not supportive of him. So I support him and he loses, I'm still fine. And I'm money good if he wins. I support her and he wins, I don't know. I talked to a very famous host of a morning show that's this iconic journalist who's been very anti-Trump. He's thinking about moving to London if he wins. Not one of these, I'm out of here, I hate America. He's physically worried that he might be, that he will need to go offline for a while because he doesn't want to get in the crosshairs of the DOJ or organization weaponized. Jamie Dimon, smart guy, great leader. I just don't believe Jamie Dimon in any way supports Trump, but occasionally throws out a nice thing about him because he wants to be Treasury Secretary and he doesn't want Trump coming after JP Morgan. By the way, JP Morgan is worth more than the 10 biggest banks in Europe, just to give you a sense of how well the American economy is doing. So the upside, the math is the following. I have less downside if I support Trump than if I support Harris.
What happens to America if Trump wins, do you think?
Well,
are you scared of that America?
No, not as much as people are. I think the catastrophizing on both sides is ridiculous. Not ridiculous. I just don't think it's warranted. it doesn't recognize history. America is so strong economically. I think America is such an incredible experiment. People still want to go there. The human capital inflows are still unbelievable. The risk-taking, the institutions. I think America is stronger than any individual candidate. And I think we have survived worse than him or her. Both sides claim it's the end of America if he or she gets in. The catastrophizing from both sides, I don't think recognizes history nor appreciates America has endured much worse than him or her. So I don't think America goes away or anything like that. There are certain groups that will be hurt. I do believe women who want to have bodily autonomy, if he gets another 1 or 2 appointments on the Supreme Court, we could see pretty onerous abortion laws across not 21, but maybe 41, maybe even a federal ban. I mean, it could get pretty ugly for women who believe that bodily autonomy is important. I think it's ugly for young people to rack up these deficits.